Yes, people, Chelsea have just beaten Brentford in a well-deserved win. And as you noticed, I am wearing Chelsea blue kind of tonight, insecure of those 3 points to get closer to Liverpool because we are shameless and we must run their shameless behavior. Of course, like anyone, like in any video, if you would like, you could smash a like on this video. Would be much appreciated. But yeah, look, Chelsea hard fought win 2-1. Uh, you know, squeaky bum time towards the end, but nothing of real note in my opinion. I feel like this was another hurdle for Chelsea. Brentford ain't no, they're you can't really. I don't know. They're not pushovers, but they don't have the greatest away record. But at the same time, whether you want to call it a derby or not, I feel like it was still another little, hurdle to get over for the Chelsea boys, anyways. And Maresca, and he did it. And you know what? Probably could have ended that game 5 or 6, maybe, if Jackson decided he wanted to fix up. If Madueke decided he didn't really want to be as greedy. A few little chances. Sancho was wicked. But yeah, let's break this game down anyways to what I thought was some of the points. And I'm going to point out the first thing as it is, which is Chelsea fitness levels are top tier. Relentless pressing, furious pressing, however you want to label it. I noticed this, and big up Suits because he noticed this too, is everyone looked fit as a fiddle. And this was pretty much the case for most of the game. I would say there was a little tiny drop off, maybe 5 minutes before the end of the game, 10 minutes maybe. That's me being generous on that part. You know, Chelsea's pressing is something I've highlighted the last few videos, and I thought that's something again. And it's not just like it's like a bunch of it's like all of them. It's all of them are doing it. Cucurella winning the ball high up the pitch. Sancho as well. He looks, as you can see, I got one of them in my points. He's in crazy shape right now. Jackson's not naturally a presser. Only his Caicedo covered every inch of grass on that flipping filter. That it was like any time the camera decided they want to switch over, where it's Caicedo's there. He's just impeccable. But I thought Sancho he looked really good today. I must admit. And also, I thought I'd highlight Chelsea, like what Maresca's fitness teams, whatever the situations over there, because obviously I don't know what you lot have over there, like in terms of like your fitness coaches, or if anything's changed from last season. It's quite evident that when it comes to Chelsea, they are going to hound you down and they're going to be on the break. I saw it time after time after time, man. What's her name again? Is her name Cindy Lauper or something like that? With that tune. For me, it was just Chelsea are quite scary on that part. It is quite City-esque, I must say, when it does come to that situation, and a little bit like Arsenal. But I thought even then it's just hounding down. Not quite Klopp level hounding, because that's just a different type of ball game. But yeah, I thought that was definitely something that it's developed after some time, and I think it's going to continue to improve as well. Like this, the in-sync pressing is mental. But yeah, Sancho did have a really good game. I don't believe he got his assist whatsoever. I think he got robbed. I think Jackson in the second half could have put one in the back of the net. He nearly rounded the keeper as well. Unfortunate for that goal, but regardless, it just reminds me how much I miss this guy a little bit. And I don't even think he's put in such performances for United. It's just I can't help but anytime I watch him, just feel like, did we really let this go for 25 million? Like I could have had Ahmad and Sancho in those tens. But yeah, look, he's happy at Chelsea. He's doing bits, and you know what? Long may that continue for him. Just don't do it against my team. That's all I can say. Madueke is definitely hungry, and you know what? There's a contrast of difference, because I'm talking about the first half. Away from the second half. So typically, I would get the first half points out of the way, and then the second half points, I would. That's how I do this. What we learned. And it's like in the first half, I thought, yeah, Madueke is the threat, man. Like at some point, he's going to get a goal, he's going to get an assist or whatever, yada, yada, yada. And that just didn't happen. He got his assist for the Cucurella goal. Don't get me wrong. But it's just like he was in good moments, and he deserved to shoot in some of these moments. And obviously, we're saying how greedy in some of these situations. But it was a different kind of Madueke, I thought. I didn't look at him thinking he's making idiotic decisions in certain situations, because if there's any other player, you're probably allowed to shoot. I don't think he could have laid it off to anyone. Like there was a point in the first half where he cut down the right, he absolutely skimmed their left back. I think it was Luke. I can't remember who it was, to be fair. And there was no chance for him to cut back to someone like Palmer. He was getting blocked off by, I think it was Norgard. I think it was anyways, or was it Damsgaard? But regardless of who it was just like he was making the most of the situation. It was just he couldn't just he couldn't find the goal at the end of the day. But I thought it was definitely an improved all-round performance from him, especially like his link-up was really good with Gusto. I thought Gusto was overlapping quite well. It looked more traditional from Gusto rather than seeing him in the 10s, but so he's playing as like a proper right back. But yeah, it gave Tosin the cover that he needed. Because let's face it, Chelsea was always going to dominate that game. So yeah, Kukurea clearly wore the correct boots today. Again, another player that just keeps hitting heights and just getting those consistent 7s, 8s performances for majority of his games for Chelsea at the moment. I thought, yeah, wore the right boots, didn't slip, and that header was absolutely beautiful. There's something that me and Dats really do appreciate. It's probably headers in a Premier League. I feel like it's an art that has been lost in some way, and it was just the way it was directed in the left-hand side of the goal. Was it the right-hand side? I think it's the way it was directed in the corners. I just thought, yeah, this guy's just going from strength to strength, right? Remind me as well, like if it would whichever corner, because it's just that the way I've got the image in my head, or on a replay, it's just that how does a left back end up in a attacking mid number 9 position to even get that header? Like he was smaller than I believe both of the right back, centre back. Was Pinnock in between? I think he was in between Pinnock and somebody else. I'm just thinking, how has he got on the end of that? But it was a good header, and it was well deserved. Like Chelsea were just going on and on and on until they got that goal, and it was coming. I don't think Brentford done much in that first. I think Vissa was a little bit of a nuisance, and Burmo wasn't really seen until the second half, in my opinion. So Chelsea done quite well in that regards. You might have to big up maybe more the defenders. Sanchez had a decent game for, which doesn't really happen for many Chelsea games. But yeah, I thought definitely Kukurea definitely had some flowers. I wouldn't even say he was the most notable player though. I'm going to say this and nice and easy, and whether you want to argue or whatever, you can always drink your tears, get your rivals' tears here. But let me get a little sip. Great. Chelsea play the best football in the league. They're definitely the most exciting thing. Whether you feel, it's just the shiny new toy, they'll get sussed out at some point. Yeah, maybe that might be the case, but they got a good tactician as a manager. And I'm pretty sure he's not one to play the same way all the time. But if we're focusing on now, for me, Maresca, he's got Chelsea team playing definitely the most exciting. When it comes to the attacking display, some may say Brighton, some may say City at times. Arsenal definitely not. Liverpool not really. Definitely not Man United from any regard. And I'm trying to think around other teams like Bournemouth play some good football in my opinion. But right now, Tottenham play very attacking, but it's not the best football. I think Chelsea have got the best balance going. Obviously, Liverpool do as well. I think obviously Liverpool do have the more controlled tempo type game. But when it comes to just what you want to watch on a mutual eye, Chelsea football is definitely one that he's like, oh, Chelsea playing today. Yeah, I'm going to watch them. I'd rather watch Chelsea than, let's say, Tottenham today. They spanked Southampton. Was it 5-0? I can probably double check that one. I believe it was 5-0 in the end. It was 5-0 in the end. There you go. So, yeah. And it was a good game. It was end-to-end at some points as well. So, yeah. Unless you got a different team in mind, let me know in the comments. Jackson needed that goal badly. I've been watching Jackson recently, obviously, with the games, but more in focus, right? And I feel like he's been off the boil a little bit for his standards because he started off really well in the league. And the last few performances, I thought, oh, he's gone a little bit missing here. I thought, not that was always going to happen. You can't play great every game. You can't always have a mad spell unless your name's Lionel Messi or Ronaldo or whatever. But I feel like he needed that goal. He took that goal nicely as well. He could have had, I would say, a hat trick today. Definitely a brace if he decided to convert that Sancho cutback. But he needed that for himself. He's just going from strength to strength in terms of his GA as well. So that's another positive in that regard. So yeah, I feel like he can do a lot more. I know Nkunku's knocking on the door a little bit, but Jackson's definitely, when it comes to his link up, he's just relentless. He just suits Maresca. That in behind as well. I'm pretty sure that, when you looked at like Patson Daka and whatnot, when he used to be at Leicester, you probably could see that Jackson was definitely going to be well suited for this system. But there was not a lot of respect on Jackson's name at that time. And hands down, I was the one that kind of disrespected him a little bit as well. Maybe a big bit. Caicedo needs to be tested for PEDs. People don't know, like we talk about performance enhancement drugs. How this guy keeps up 90 minutes, whether it's coming back from South America after an international break or, just playing 90 minutes consistently at times. I know he's rested, obviously. Midweek, you're playing one game and whatnot. Of course, whatever. but he is just everywhere like a rash, man. Like, where do you not see Caicedo? This man is brutal. You know, he's just clamping guys. I get told he's an 8. No, he's a 6. And it's like he's a box to box. No, he's a playmaker. He passes forward. Like, this guy's just a complete midfielder at this rate. You know, I feel like he could just start for pretty much any team in the league right now. He does. I can't think of anyone else that he doesn't start for. He's just brilliant, isn't he? He's just, you watch him and he clamps a man, retains the ball even from clamping them, and it's clean more time than less. And it's a joy. Like on the mutual, it is a joy to watch because you just want someone like that in your team. Like, this is why I like Agate a lot. He's not as clean as Caicedo. I don't think he's as good as a footballer, but it's just that simple, like covering every blade, what they say, every inch or every blade of grass, whatever. And he wins the ball back, retains and plays it simple. Obviously, Caicedo is a difference. He can play a lot further forward because his passing range is that more spectacular than Agate, but he definitely wins his duels, man. And he's Chelsea's best player. You say if he's worth 150 million, you probably say right now, excuse me, alhamdulillah, yeah, he's worth pretty much every penny, especially if they go and win this league. Sustaining that, it's just, we'll see, innit? If he has some better defenders. And one thing I did notice is some stats, and we always do stats as well. And this ain't about Caicedo. You know, Chelsea have conceded, I believe, now because of that goal. I think they conceded like 19 goals in the Premier League. That was something under scrutiny that was at the start of the season, right? And we was always questioning that. And I was like, when you deep it, Liverpool have conceded 13 and Arsenal conceded 15, right? So Chelsea's defense must not be that bad, especially for a side that does play a back three. I thought that would be something to highlight as well. And another thing to highlight, Enzo. I didn't get to write down because I thought, I need to get this pre-recorded out before I have my show, yada yada yada. And I just thought, this guy's got 10 goals and assists in his last 7 games. I think he's got 7 assists and 3 goals. He's the one that assisted that Jackson goal as well. And I just think, again, he had another really good game. And no one can tell me differently. And I always ask what it was. And I had some comments before previous video last week, I believe it was. And it was saying, yeah, because he got rid of his, the wife or whatever. He don't have a hernia injury. He's more focused. Again, is it 105 million worthy? It's like, who knows? It's not about the price tag. What I'm trying to do is kind of defend it in the touch. Because if he is to get, let's say, Chelsea a trophy or a Premier League, and then he also gets another 10 GA in the league, it's like, yeah, at this rate, he's contributing in all different factors, right? I know it's always going to be how much Chelsea spent, but when you win, who cares what the price is, right? There you go. I just thought, again, Enzo would highlight it. I wouldn't say it was tip-top game like his previous game, but he was definitely a contributing factor. Because, again, another one who's everywhere on the pitch, he looks fit as a fiddle. Same with Sancho. And these are 2 players you would criticize about their fitness. So there you go. And obviously, the last one, you lot do the maths. You're 3 points closer to Liverpool, 2 behind. Liverpool got Tottenham at Spurs next week. So I know they're your enemies, but you might have to support them regardless. And then Chelsea, you've got whoever you've got. I'm not too sure. Can't remember. But I'll be rooting for you guys. But make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new. If you like these sort of videos, let me know in the comments and give me your thoughts as well, because they're always interesting to get involved. In a bit.